Bravissimo, Steve Waugh. Thank you so much for sharing your artistic guitar talents with us, brother. Hey, I'm going to talk about meaning tonight and then how it is assigned to means. And it's something we don't think about very often. Today we kind of have detached those from each other, that people have meaning, but they don't often grab onto the means. We have people who call themselves something, but they don't have the means to call themselves that thing. We have, no matter how hard I try, I cannot say that I'm a 90-year-old man. I could not possibly be a 90-year-old man, even if that is the meaning I have in my mind and in my heart. I'm 90 years old. I don't have the means to prove it. I haven't lived 90 years. So no matter what I say or do, I cannot be a 90-year-old man. I don't have the means. I might have the meaning. I feel like it. I talk like it. I walk like it. I honestly in my heart believe I'm 90, but the means have to support the fact that I am. Likewise, I might fancifully believe that I am the starting quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines. I might tell people I'm the starting quarterback. I might get chicks to believe me, and I can walk around on campus saying I'm the starting quarterback, and some people might believe it. That is my meaning for life, right? But do I have the means to prove it? Do I have anything connected to the claim? And more we live in an age where we are extracting means from meaning. And it's a really important subject. Let me break the concept down a little bit differently. Let's just talk about the meaning, the true meaning of an apple tree. Now, what is the universally accepted, truest meaning of the apple tree, right? We know that apple trees come from seeds. We know that apple trees grow roots. We know that the roots dig down into the earth and hold the earth in place from erosion. We know that trunks build up. We know branches come off. We know that a canopy of leaves exists. We know the apple tree might be used for firewood. We know the apple tree might be used for shade in the summer or protection from storms in the winter. We know all of those ancillary elements of the apple tree, but the core meaning of an apple tree is the apple, right? An apple tree should give us apples. The meaning of an apple tree is ultimately in the apple, but the means of the apple tree is the tree, the wood, the roots, the branches, the canopy, etc. So all of these things are part of the means of the apple tree, and they may serve to have meaning for people, shade and firewood, etc. But once again, if we seriously look at, we simply can't take an apple, the meaning of an apple tree, and subtract it and remove it from the means. What I mean is, if I hold an apple in my hand and I say, this apple is wonderful and it's delicious, I'm grateful for it, it didn't come from a tree. I don't even recognize the tree. I don't recognize anything about an apple tree. I don't care about pollution, water pollution, air pollution. I don't care about mismanagement of agriculture when it comes to tree care. All I care is that I have the apple. That is kind of the way that we have gotten with some things. I just care about the meaning of the thing, but not the means by which it came. So when you think about that, the original seed of the apple and of the apple tree, and the roots and the soil and the water and the trunk and the branches and the leaves and the shade and the wood, and ultimately the fruit itself, all are the means to produce and give us that meaning, the apple. Look at, apples do not just exist. Apples have an original source. That is the means of the apple, its original source, the tree. And so it is with Christianity, okay? Now, if you really think about it, what is the meaning, the ultimate meaning of Christianity? The ultimate meaning is love. That's the apple of Christianity. It's love. It isn't even faith. It's not knowledge. It's love, as 1 Corinthians says. You can have all faith. You can have all knowledge. But if you don't have love, you don't have anything. So the meaning of Christianity at the end lies in the two great commandments. Love God and love each other. But here's the deal. There are people who try to suggest today that you can truly have this love meaning in your life without the means. They say, I love people. I might love God, but I don't need that Jesus. I don't need that Bible. I don't need Christianity. I have the meaning. I don't need the means. And that's as illogical as saying, I have an apple. I don't need the tree. I don't care about the tree. In fact, the tree doesn't even exist. You can't have an apple without the tree. You can't have agape, godlike love without Christianity. Now that is where the big debate comes. No, yes you can, but you really can't, any more than you can have an apple without a tree. So I would suggest, let me explain this. There are those in the world who sincerely believe that they can live the elements of Christianity, the meaning of Christianity, and get rid of Christ, and get rid of resurrection, and get rid of his teachings, get rid of his life, get rid of his death, get rid of his return, get rid of the New Testament, the Old Testament, the apostles, the miracles. They actually have extracted the meaning from Christianity and think that they can justify it by removing the means. And again, to go back to my example, that's as stupid and as illogical as saying, I believe in apples, I possess apples, and I am really grateful for apples, but I don't care at all about the tree, the means from which it came. If you haven't guessed, the means of Christianity has all gone on by and through God working through Adam and Eve, the nation of Israel, the Old Testament, and all that strange stuff that happened in it. It happened through the Spirit coming on John the Baptist. It happened through him introducing the Messiah. It happened the Messiah being born of a virgin. It happened through the virgin then raising the child up with her husband Joseph, and then that child, when he became of age, entering into ministry and calling apostles, and then writing a New Testament, and him teaching, and those teachings being found in the New Testament, and his commands being found in that New Testament, and all the things that go around with it. And so those means help establish and found, as in founding something, they help provide the means of Christianity. And so while we know that the meaning of Christianity is love, selfless love, true Christians know they cannot extract the means of that love from the love itself. That's why Christians get together and they have churches, and they study the Word, and they pray, and they have fellowship, and they do other things together in order to stay in touch with the means of the faith. Because if you give a group a distance and a gap between the meaning and the means, you will lose the means in time, and the meaning will change too. And we don't realize that. So, in other words, if someone was really to throw themselves into the study of the means of Christianity, church history, ancient languages, theology, but fails to embrace the meaning of it, they have missed the boat too. You can't just have the means. You can't have an apple tree without having apples. You can't have Christianity without having love. Neither can you have apples without the tree or love without Christianity, the means. This is proven by what Paul says in 1 Corinthians 13. Though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels and have not love, I am a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. And he goes on and says, and though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and I have all faith so that I can move mountains, and I don't have love, I'm nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and I don't have love, it profits me nothing. You see, the meaning of the faith is love. That is key, and it is superior to all things. But we cannot possess it. You can't stand out and hate Ashbury, high on LSD, saying there was no Jesus, there was no resurrection, but I know how to love. It's not possible any more than it's possible to have an apple without having an apple tree. Out. Good job, buddy.